I'll say that you'll see Henry. So Henry right now is not at the training grounds, but he's probably off to the side, just chatting with some people with some electronics, probably giving them some sort of instruction, like hacking instructions of some sort. But he's got his back to you. You can tell it's him, though.
Okay. I look to the rest of the group, and it's Henry's over there. And he'll look specifically to Tori.
Yeah, Tori, you look like a ghost. So, yeah.
Well, do you want to talk to him about, you know?
Maybe we can both go over and talk to him, and let's just take it one step at a time.
Yeah. And she'll pull out Henry's like kung fu doll to hold with her.
Nice.
as we get ready to go. But anyone else wants to do anything?
While you guys are going over that way, I'm going to go towards the the last area where we were outfitting up with the plans for the silence dampener, and see if they can start working on that, as well as some tech for me. So that's like back piece.
Okay, so you approach Henry.
I tap Henry on the back.
You'll tap on the back. He'll as he's turning around, he'll say, "Yeah, what's up?" And then he'll turn around and he will see you immediately, and he'll say, "Frankie, you're back."
Yes, just I know it's been a long time. How long has it?
Henry will go up and hug you. He'll actually go up and hug you before you finish that sentence.
And he will hug him back. And in that moment, his facial features will change to Ethan.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, and
you there'll be a flash of a moment when Ethan was hugging Henry way back when. A flash of that.
Yep. But then his face will change back as soon as they let go. How have you been? It has been a long time.
A lot's been happening. We've recruited more people. We've rescued more people. Things have been really busy. Victor's been probably working harder than ever before, though. He's been stressing himself out, and I've been trying my best to have him calm down, but I think he's just carrying a lot on his shoulders right now.
Yes, like I can imagine. You remember Tori?
He turns to you and he'll, of course, with his expression sort of, you can see in his eyes that he immediately has like a look of concern, and he'll say, "Tori, so it is true. I wasn't just dreaming."
Definitely real.
Wow. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. We're all used to it by now, and we've made the best of it, you know.
Do you need anything? That's a silly question to ask.
I'm just glad to know you're okay. She kind of like shyly looks at her feet. We missed you.
Oh, yeah, he says, I missed you all too. He says, his face like blushes a little bit.
And you asked me to keep your kung fu action figure safe, and she'll hand it over to him. Him and Tori Jr. did like a lot of pizza deliveries together to Mrs. Crabapple, and they were always delivered on time. Kept him safe.
That sounds amazing. It sounds like they were in good hands.
He belongs to you.
You sure you don't want to hold on to it any a little longer?
Well, he's yours. Maybe.
But I mean, what if Mrs. Crabapple needs another pizza?
Well, why don't we do this? After we figure out everything else, maybe you and I can play with our dolls together.
It's been a while since I've done that. That'd be nice.
I think it would be nice too.
Once the big work is done. And he'll just smile.
She'll smile back.
Sorry, he just sort of, he shakes out of it because there was a moment of you're sort of, he was lost in this conversation.
I feel like she would have been drifting a little bit closer to him during that, unconsciously.
Yeah, drifting a little bit closer, and he doesn't pull back. So so he's sort of in his own little world just for a moment, and then finally he'll shake it off a little bit and say, "So Frankie, now that you're here, does this mean you can help us?"
Yes, of course. That is why I come back. I brought my friends, and we are here already looking for Sam. I think Sam has a lot of plans to help with the device. A device it'll disrupt signals. I don't know all the technical stuff. But yeah.
That could be huge. Definitely we need to let Victor know. What am I saying? You really need to find Victor now. He's been worried sick about you.
Where is he?
He's in his lab, of course. He's kind of been living out of his lab for a while, actually.
He looks at Dorian. You're okay? You're good here?
Yeah, no, you do what you need to do. I can hang out with Henry alone.
Okay. I'm going to go now.
Yeah, we'll be here,
Okay.
Henry says.
And he will then hurriedly move to the lab to see if Victor is there.
You're gonna get into the lab. The first thing that you'll notice is that there's so many papers, documents, blueprints all over the place. There's a chalkboard that's full of equations as well, just back in Star's World at the Energy's radio station, but even more so, I would say. And there's an open can of beans or something with a fork inside of it, with a glass of water, and you just normally Victor likes to keep his lab very neat, but for whatever reason, uncharacteristically, his lab is a little bit more messy and unkept, and his bed's not even made. One thing you know about Victor, he always makes his bed every time he wakes up, and not even his bed's been made, and so it's a very different feel, a different vibe. So right at this moment, you don't see Victor in the lab. Do you do anything, just out of curiosity?
Frankie takes the backpack that he has with all the different turrets, sets it down near a chair by the entrance or a desk or something. He takes the the three pets and puts them near the bunnies that are probably in another corner in a little maze, and have them befriend each other. Play nice, okay? Do not fight. Looks around the room. Everything is in disarray. Who's?
One thing I will note is that since we were talking about Victor's bed, you will notice two new things. The first thing that catches your eye is sitting on his pillow. It looks like a Frankie plushie. It's a cute, adorable-looking Frankie plushie that you've never seen before. And then there's like a desk that he has right next to his bed, like a writing desk, and it looks like a bound journal that is currently open at the moment with some writing. And if you want to like glance a little bit, it basically says Dear Frankie, and it's got a date on it, and he's written like some notes about how, you know, I'm so close, and, you know, this is what I had for breakfast. Like nothing specific, but it was definitely like a letter written to you, which looks very recent. It was written in recently.
Frankie will definitely read through a little bit of it, but realizing that this is kind of a private journal,
it's private, but it's always addressed to you.
Okay.
You'll flip through back to the pages, and checking the dates. He's been writing in this thing every single day.
Okay.
And it's just talking about what he did, like stuff he's did, stuff he's thinking about, and it's just filled with things like I miss you, and like I'm wondering, you know, how you're doing, and blah 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 blah. Just a lot of letters to you, basically.
He takes a deep breath, thinking of what to say. Looks around the room again, seeing where he could be, trying to listen for him.
Yeah. You will eventually hear footsteps, and just from the sound of the footsteps, you know it's Victor. You know how he walks, and he will come through the doors. He seems to have, like, carrying a crate full of something. He's got boxes, so it's covering his face, so he doesn't see you immediately. But he's sort of like you can see him carrying the boxes probably towards like one of the tables in the room.
I'm gonna walk up to him and actually take the boxes from him, moving it away from his field of vision so that he could see them.
Yeah, you'll take the boxes away, and in that he'll be a little startled because he wasn't expecting someone else to be in the room, but he'll relax as soon as he sees you and him like face to face, like right into each other's eyes. And there's like a moment of, Frankie?
It's me, yes.
He immediately rushes to you and grabs a hold of you, like, and just hugs you very tightly.
I pick him up and I do a little bit of a turn with him, and I said, I thought you were way cleaner than this.
He says his eyes were watering a little bit, and so he pulls back a little bit and he wipes it off, and he says, "That's what you had prepared to be the first thing to say to me after all these months? That was what you're going to start with?" He says jokingly.
Well, I honestly didn't know. I didn't have anything prepared. I'm not good with preparing.
Well, look at you then. He says, "Think you would want to at least take a shower before you saw me?" He says, again jokingly.
Well, yeah, it's a long story. I've been in so many different places.
He'll hug you tightly again.
He'll hug him back for sure, with a bit of hesitation. There's still hesitation in Frankie right now.
You're not sure if he notices it yet. Yeah.
Victor, what has been going on? Is everything okay?
It's been okay. There's just so many things that's been going on over the last several months, and I'm just trying to stay on top of it, and every single moment that I spend has been so important that I kind of haven't had time to maintain my lab the way I normally would. I'm so close. I feel so close to finally finding where the Vanguard is holed up, and trying to find out where this device is that's supposed to be like controlling all the psionics. need to get past this one last hump, and I think I will have it nailed down.
Okay. Well, I don't know a lot about the high-tech stuff, but I know one of my friends, Sam, he has these blueprints of a device that it like interferes with signals. And
Seriously?
yes. I don't know where he went, but they're here to help. I brought them here to help us.
I absolutely would love to take a look at those. Where is he now?
I don't know, and maybe he went back to some of the other places. We need to check with my friends. There's just so much I have to tell you. So much. I just want to be sure that you have been doing okay, because this place is a rotten mess. Are you eating well?
Yeah. Henry's been making sure that I've eaten every day. I've been really busy, so sometimes I do forget to eat. But I'm okay. I really am okay. Frankie, you don't have to worry about me. I'm worrying more about you. I've been safe in my lab this whole time, but sounds like you've been everywhere, getting yourself into lots of trouble.
He'll like play with Victor's hair at this time, and it's a long story, and he's visibly different than what Victor remembers. Obviously, it has been a very, very tough journey trying to help all my new friends. Like I told you when I left, I would have to help them for what they did for us, and it's been tough on some more than others. My friend Tori, she actually died and became a ghost. Can you believe that? It's real. Remember the theories we had about spirits in the spiritual realm?
Your friend died and is a ghost?
Yeah, she's right outside talking to Henry.
She's talking? Wow, I can't even fathom what... I can't even... That's like scientifically impossible.
Or it's like some of the theories that people have had that we talked about our psionic echoes, or it's what some people would call a soul or a spirit, but it's an forever ancient. It keeps going. Neither created or destroyed type of thing.
That would make sense.
Anywho, I don't understand it all. It's all crazy, but we just want to be sure that everyone here has been safe, because I think now we have a way to at least interfere with the device so that we're not subject and used as puppets anymore.
This is probably the missing link that we need. Once I find Sam, I definitely will see if we can leverage it somehow.
Yeah.
But Frankie, he says, as he just takes a hold of your hand, how about you? You look different.
I feel different. I'll be very honest, Victor. I had to tell you something very important that we discovered in my journeys. We need to sit down for this.
Sure, of course.
Don't know how to say this exactly, but we were all written, like in my poetry, and all the books you have. We're all stories, like for real. Like somebody out there, his name is Dan the Man. He wrote our story.
We're somebody's story?
Yes. and he picks up a little bit frustrated. He picks up a book and says, "See right here. See Romeo and Juliet. How someone wrote this, Shakespeare. Okay, then it's Frankie and Victor, and that Shakespeare is Dan the Man."
But that's impossible. How can somebody just write something into creation like that into a book? That doesn't make any sense. Less sense than the whole ghost thing.
Nothing surprises me anymore, but we're all part of this bigger universe of a collective stories. All of us, Sam, Tori, Star, Black Powder, and even Lonic, we're just part of stories that come together. I mean, now we have free will, but then you can ask, well, what's free will? Does that even exist? Anyhow, it's
everything that's been happening to us, all the people that have been in danger, everything that we've been through is all because somebody decided that was what's going to happen to us?
Well, to start, and then we all exerted our free will? It's still very confusing to me, to be honest. I've been very confused these past few months.
Well, if that were true, at this point, Victor looks very frustrated. Well, if that were true, then why don't they just write us to win this war then? Why don't they just, help us?
Because it's no longer them writing, it's us writing this story.
How convenient, he says. He kind of rolls his eyes a little bit.
And that's part of it. So I just wanted you to be aware. I care about you a lot, Victor. I love you with all my heart. But I was set to question it. Is it real? Or did somebody just write it? And same for you. But, talking with my friends, they were convincing me to lean into it and believe it's real. It's really difficult when we're here. This is where we were written. This is where we were meant to. This war, this struggle, all the pain was all meant to be written, to be real for us.
You're not sure if our love is real? Frankie, there's been so many people, including Henry especially, who kept saying that what you and I have was not real. And he sort of backs up a little bit. You're the last person that I thought would think that. The last person.
Well, it feels real. It feels as real as it can be. I don't doubt that. I wish I could be sure for 100% away from this place. There's so many other worlds, Victor. I can show you these worlds. If we went there, you could see, and maybe away from here we could realize that it really is real, that it has no bounds whatsoever within our story. In our world, it's shit.
The idea definitely is enticing. I'd love to see the things you've seen. Absolutely. I don't know, Frankie, it just feels weird having the main motivator of going to other worlds being to test our love for each other?
It would be more than that. It would be exploring. It would be learning. I've learned so much about myself in these other places. I know that you would enjoy them and be thrilled to see them. I just would love to share that with you as well. I just want us to at least look beyond the story that was written for us. That is all. But I want us to help the people here. It's hard to say I completely want to not care. I do care. I care about Felix. I care a lot about Henry too. And in that moment, his face changes to Ethan. But you know, I think for us, it's important that at least we give each other a, not to say this, maybe like a blank slate, a new start. Just try something new.
I'd be open if we're able to help everyone here make sure that at least we get rid of the Vanguard. I'd be open to that.
Good. Okay, well, and you know, we can bring whomever wanted to come with us too if they wanted to travel. I mean, that I think what we've learned is, see, there's this place called the library, right? And so that's where we all go to start our different journeys. And there's just worlds and worlds of opportunity to visit and learn from. But I know we have a job to do here first, and I know it looks you've been very busy trying to figure it out, and that's why I came back with all my friends so we can help solve this problem.
What will it take then, Frankie? Say I do eventually go with you traveling. What will it take for you to believe that the feelings that we have for each other are real?
A good question, man. I think it's just if I see it, if we experience it away from here, that will be enough. That will be enough to say it's not part of just this book that they wrote for us, that it goes beyond our book. It goes beyond this world. That what we feel for each other is real because it could transcend our boundaries that were set for us. That would be enough for me.
He is by the bookshelf at this point, and he's sort of like, while you're talking to him, he's sort of, he's been running his hands through some of the books. So these are books that he's been reading to you, like during the early times when you had become sentient, basically. And he pulls out like one of your favorite books or poems or something. Like what would you say is one of his favorite books, manuscript poems?
Let's go do one of the classics. Let's say the Iliad is one of his favorites. He pulls out the Iliad, which you know very fondly, and it's worn, so it's been used a lot. I mean, maybe it was one of his favorite books too, which is why it really was worn even long before you were in the picture. And he just kind of like, thumbs through the pages a little bit, and eventually he takes the book and then he just like puts it against his chest, just hugs it against his chest, and he says, as a scientist, you run a lot of experiments, you come up with theories, you try to prove or disprove said theories, you collect a lot of data and a lot of evidence, and then you eventually come up with a conclusion and to see if your hypothesis was true or false. And that's what any good scientist would do, right? Is try to test. Even as a scientist, Frankie,
I know that this is real. I don't need to run an experiment to know. But if you do, if you need to test our love for each other, I'll do it. Just to prove it to you. But just know that I don't need anything to believe that what we have is real.
I trust me. You haven't seen this, but once I show you, it's the reason why I kind of question this world a bit. And perhaps it's just the only thing I need is to see us outside of it. Just for a moment. Just to be sure. And then I'll be okay.
It'd be like a journey, like in the Odyssey.
That's correct. We can go on our own Odyssey and journey throughout these other worlds, just the two of us. Think of it as a adventurous vacation.
I like that. I'd like that. And he'll walk towards you again, and he'll just kind of like, lean on you, and he's not hugging you. He's sort of like leaning his head onto your shoulder, and he's just gonna say, "I'm really glad you're back. I talk to you, if that makes any sense, every day. Sometimes I get so tired, and sometimes the days are long, and people are constantly asking me for things, and there's just so much pressure, and I just pretend you're here. It's sort of what I did when I was captured too, and I always know that you're here, though."
He will rub his hair again with his head on his shoulder. I just want you to know that, yes, I haven't been here physically, it's true. And a lot of things that I've seen have made me question a lot of things that I believe in. One thing that I do for sure still believe in is that I do care very much about our relationship, and I love you very much. It's just been difficult with everything that has been going on. So much has been going on. If you only knew the stuff that's out there. But we are here now, and we need to win. We need to save this place. If we free this place, so many more lives can be saved, and we can be free to go off and adventure other places, visit other places. I can show you how it's done. You don't have to live here anymore.
Well, now that you and I are together again, I know we can do it. For Agatha and everyone else, we have to do it.
Yes. Let's talk to the others and see where they are, especially Sam with the blueprints. You'll want to see them. They're going to be very important, I promise.
Okay.
I mean, look what I brought. And he'll point to these turrets like, this one's dopey.
Dopey? Really?
Well, yeah.
He says, chuckling.
There are 7 of them, and I didn't know what else to name them.
I'm the cute one, Dopey says. Wow, he talks too.
Oh, yeah.
Frankie, you've been holding out.
They can be very vicious. Don't let them fool you.
Thank you, Frankie.
Oh, you're welcome.
They roll their R's pretty well.
Yeah, they learned my accent somehow. Good.
Are you also my daddy? Daddy? He says as he sort of like blushes a little bit.
Yeah, they all think I'm their daddy. Apparently I have a father figure type of energy.
It's your protective nature.
That's true. I owe that to you.
He'll give you a smile, and I'll say with that we can end the scene there.
So after Frankie leaves, she'll awkwardly glance at Henry and just check in and ask, "How are you holding up?"
How am I holding up? I feel like Victor has been working his butt off, and I'm just trying to make sure that he eats and keeps himself alive, because he's just been putting way too much on his shoulders. Felix is a mess.
Yeah.
You probably need to talk to him at some point. He's kind of been drinking a lot more lately, and I'm really worried about him. And the problem is, I'm the last person he wants to talk to.
Right.
So it can't come from me. I know some of his friends have been trying to help him out, but he's been in a very dark place, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Tori, it scares me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really worried he might do something really drastic.
When you lose a loved one like that, you'll do things you never thought you would do before. And I think you know that better than a lot of people.
I lost a lot of people that I've cared about over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm just still upset at what happened to you, he says, looking in your direction.
Yeah, about that. That 1-up, that golden 1-up thing I told you about?
Yeah.
Well, I have it. And she kind of pats her bag. But like you said, I'm really worried about Felix. And I know I need to talk to him at some point about the possibility of using that on Agatha, if Felix wants Agatha back.
Do you believe that Agatha is still around to be able to use it on her?
Well, that's the other thing is I don't know if we need to recover her body to do it. We haven't tested it out, obviously.
I have no idea either. I know that Felix definitely would love for his sister to come back. I don't know if he would necessarily agree to it if he knows that you could use it on yourself too.
Yeah, I plan to talk to him about it and get his perspective. But it's an option, and it might not be the only option. I know we talked about doing something like what Victor did with Frankie. There's also Frankie was talking about robots. There might be multiple ways to get a body back.
Victor has done amazing things, so it feels like any of those options are doable. But how do you feel about those options for yourself?
I have been contemplating that for a really long time. I don't know if I have an attachment to my body. I think the thing that lingers on my mind, and this is selfish, but thinking about my future and the way I feel.
Yeah? Henry scoots over towards her direction. If I'm being honest with myself, I think I was feeling this way when
we were about to leave Frankie's world and we were talking, and I regret not acting on it then because I can't really act on it right now. But she pulls out her Tori doll. Do you still have the Henry doll I gave you?
Of course I do. And he has a side pouch or bag, and he'll just open it up and he'll take it out, and he has it like carefully wrapped, very carefully wrapped in like some sort of like cloth, I think. And he'll just unwrap it and he'll show it. It's still in very pristine condition.
You took good care of it.
Well, yeah, it was from you, he says. And I know how particular you are about your dolls.
Right. You're the same way. That's why I kept your Kung Fu figurine really safe. Anyway, I'm rambling. I wish I did this. So the only way I might be able to do this now is through the dolls, but I really care about you. I think I like you in a romantic kind of way. And with that, she will and I want to express that the only way I can, which is she tries to make contact with Henry's doll, like a doll's kissing kind of.
Yeah, you'll do that, and Henry will. I think he's just gonna shake a little bit. He's shaking a little bit, but he'll form a slight smile and will take the doll and also, make contact as well with it. Very cute, in a very cute way. And he sort of sees it and he chuckles a little bit and he says, I like you too. He says, I was thinking about you all the time when you left, and to be honest, I could have also said something, but I didn't. I guess part of me just felt like the last time I got super attached to someone, let's face it, the last 2 times I got super attached to someone, it didn't quite work out. To the point that I figured, maybe this love stuff isn't really for me. Maybe it's not really something that I even deserve. So I chickened out.
Don't deserve love. That's ridiculous. Of course you do.
Yeah, well, I think when I was in love with Victor, I think I twisted and I used it in ways that I shouldn't have, and I'm just grateful that we're still friends even after the fact, but I don't know. I just didn't want to cause you any pain.
Oh, well. I'm glad to know how you feel now. Do you still care for Victor? Do you still love him?
I think part of you will always love the people that you fall in love with, especially if it didn't end in awful terms, Mm-hmm. I mean, I had this very deep feelings for someone before Victor. It's a very close friend of mine, and I never said anything to him, and by the time I had gotten the courage to be able to say something, it was already too late.
You're talking about Ethan, right?
Yeah. How did you know?
Well, just the way you talked about him last time, I kind of felt it. You ever think your love isn't just meant to be for one person?
I have thought of that. And then every time I think about that, I feel like, oh, Henry, are you just being greedy now?
I thought about that too, over the whole course of this crazy adventure I've been on with Frankie and the others. I've been given a lot of really difficult choices, and it just feels like it's always this or that, black or white, good or bad. There's no wiggle room. But
that's a good point.
Selfishly, I know in my heart, and I need to be forthcoming with you, that I do love more than one person.
I see. None of my business, but may I ask who?
Felix.
Felix is a great guy. I can see that. I deeply admire him.
Right.
And he ain't bad looking either, he says.
Nobody is here. So I felt guilty having feelings for you and him. But like I said, I've had to make all these choices, and I still have this choice to make of what to do with this extra life. But I don't want to have to choose between two people that I love and care about.
Well, it'd be really nice to hear how Felix feels about that too then.
But how do you feel about that?
I really like Felix. I don't know if I like him in that way necessarily, just because honestly I just never really gave it much thought.
And you don't have to feel the same way about Felix, but I know it's selfish of me to even ask this of you, but that's how I feel. And I want to go after what I want, and that's you and Felix.
Can I, since you're being so open and honest, can I share something with you too?
Of course.
I don't know what this means, but I've been feeling deep feelings for someone else as well recently.
Yeah.
And didn't really confirm it until just now. But please don't think I'm being like weird or selfish about this, because
No, you're not.
I never have told anyone else anything like this, but I really feel comfortable and open to you, Tori. But when I hugged Frankie earlier today, I could feel something there. But it just feels so messed up because, me and Frankie and Victor, that's a big giant mess as well. And I wasn't necessarily going to entertain that idea, but now that you sort of put it in my head, I can't help but talk out loud.
No, please speak.
You don't think I'm perverted or anything by thinking that, do you?
No. No. It makes a lot of sense why you would feel that way about Frankie. Frankie's one of the best people I know. He's got a really good heart.
Yeah, and I've been rotten to him almost his entire existence, basically.
Yeah, but you already proved that just because you were one way doesn't mean you have to stay that way. And you redeemed yourself. You saved a lot of people. And I think you owe it to yourself to explore those feelings, or at least express how you feel to Frankie. And I'm not going to get in the way of that, because I love you and I want you to find out for real how, Frankie feels about you.
I just don't want Victor to feel like I'm messing things up either, because they care about each other too, and I don't know.
Yeah, this is a little bit of unclaimed territory for me. I don't know.
I mean, I thought the love triangle thing was complicated enough, but now it's like a love double helix.
Love double helix. Yeah. It's a
Out of
mess.
character, there's Victor, Henry, Frankie, and then Tori, Henry, Felix. It's like a double helix. It's like out of character.
It's intense. This is
and
getting
Sue in
crazy.
there.
Super good soup. And then meanwhile, you see Felix as you see Frankie as a brother, and
This is the ultimate shipping of. I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got here.
Every single
Embrace
young
the
adult.
polyamory.
The polyamory is.
The polyamory is strong in this one, yes.
Just take the Hunger Games and Twilight and just mix them all in a blender. Throw all those triangles in a blender. Add all the drama. This person killed this person and this person. Yeah, and it's like, double.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like really weird. So anyway, back in character. He starts laughing and says, I would never have admitted that to anyone other than you, and I'm really happy that I'm able to just be completely myself and just speak whatever's in my head without feeling like I'm being judged.
I feel the same exact way. I opened up to you in ways that I didn't open up to anyone else. You just kind of understand me. I've never felt understood until I met you and all these amazing friends. And it's complicated, but I am willing to navigate through this double helix with you if you're on board.
I'm your man, he says, or at least one of them. I'm one of your men.
And then she'll take the Tory doll again and do another kiss.
I wish I could hug you.
Me too.
Actually hug you.
Well, depending on which way we go, we might be able to do that soon. Or if I stay dead, I'll be able to do this in your dream. So many options.
Really now? He sort of has now he has a devilish smile on his face. Really now?
She'll go red. Yeah. Yeah. We have options.
All right. Well, he looks at his watch. I'll be asleep in probably 6 hours.
I'll be there.
But if you want me to take a nap, I mean, I can probably take a nap. He says, very flirtatiously.
She definitely picks up on it. As much fun as that sounds, I think we have more pressing matters right now. But
tell you what, he says. There's this pizza place. Doesn't exist anymore. But Ethan and I, we loved going to that pizza place just to hang out and talk about nerdy things, geeky things and stuff. I'd love to show it to you the next time I'm asleep. Maybe we can have a pizza together. I can tell you what to pick out, toppings-wise.
I'd love that. It's a date.
It's a date. I'm really glad you're back, he says.
Me too. Should we meet up with the others and find out what the plan is?
Let's do that.
And if she could, she would hold his I guess she'd take the Tory doll and put its hand to his hand and walk out with him.
As Sam and Black Powder and Star are gonna go to wherever it is they were gonna go with this blueprints thing, you'll actually pass by a tent, and you'll actually see Felix stumble out of the tent, and he's got an empty bottle in his arm, and he looks really, really drunk. He hasn't shaved as well in a while. His hair is very unkempt, He's got like his eyes are red as if he hasn't gotten much sleep. And he just takes the bottle and he just doesn't even bother throwing this in the trash. He just kind of, chucks it on the ground and it just shatters. And he'll actually go to a nearby tree and he'll take a leak, basically. But he looks very different from the Felix that you knew last time. And once he finishes his business, he's gonna go back into his tent unless any of you do or say anything, but you're welcome to just pass by if you'd like.
Star's gonna look at Sam and Black Powder and say, "That's Felix, right?"
I think so.
Like shit.
I think should we go talk to him? Let him know that we're back.
Yeah.
Guess we'll go to his tent or try to intercept him. Yeah, Felix.
As soon as you yell out his name, an invisible wall like emerges in front of you, and you might like run into it, but it won't. I mean, it won't hurt that much. His arm like kind of goes like shoots up. He doesn't make eye contact. He doesn't know who's calling his name. He just knows somebody calls his name, but he just shoots up his arm to like throw up a psychic barrier, and he says, "What?"
Frankie and Tori are back.
His head raises up a little bit, and then he suddenly drops his hand. The barrier goes away, and he says, "You're back?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they?"
Frankie went to go find Victor. Tori was talking with Henry.
One direction is the direction towards Victor's, like, spot. The other direction is the direction where Henry is. He pauses for a moment, trying to decide which one he's going to go to first. Then he ultimately turns towards Tori's direction, and he starts going towards Tori's direction. He's going to start shuffling there, but I don't know if you will let him just go or what.
No, I'll definitely try to stop him and say, "Whoa, easy. You gotta clean you up first."
What? He says, and you can definitely smell the alcohol from his breath. He definitely reeks of alcohol.
You're a mess.
Tell me about it, he says.
We're gonna be here for a while. Let's get you cleaned up and a little sobered up, alright?
I don't know if I want that. Hurts too much. Nope, hurts too much.
Star, can you calm him down a little bit?
Star will nod and say, "Felix, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just trying to help, if you'll let me." And Star will just hold out his hand like this and say, "May I have your hand, please?"
Roll me a persuasion with a -4 penalty.
Okay. Yeah, that's a success.
Yes, I think that's a success. Okay. Yeah. He will hesitate slightly, because he's still like in a cloud of a haze, so he probably doesn't even recognize you. But you are convincing enough in your voice that he will hesitantly reach out towards you.
And Star eyes are going to go blue for a second. So that's a success. So as Sapphire, Star is going to basically just take the edge off and calm him down, like kind of relax him a little bit. And he might feel a little sleepy, and Star will be like, "How does that feel?"
Before out of character I respond to that, when you hold Felix's hand, something comes over you. So you know how twins are said to have some sort of like psionic bond with each other?
Yes.
So you take a hold and you feel like you've tapped into something when you hold on to him through your empathy. And you can feel, you definitely feel how Felix is feeling right now. He's feeling very like distraught. He's feeling very hopeless. You have a sense of, what's the point anymore? I don't want to feel this pain anymore, and I need to address it somehow because I don't want to keep hurting anymore. Take that how you will. Like, this guy's definitely like down to the end of his rope. But beyond that, you feel an anger, and you feel a rage, and at first you thought it was coming from Felix, but it's not. It's coming from somewhere else very, very, very far away, and you can't quite explain where it's coming from, but it feels like it's Felix, but it's not Felix. That's the best way I can explain it.
Okay. So before Star says, how did that feel? Star's eyes are gonna go green because he's feeling all that remorse, and he'll bat his eyes real quick, and they'll go back to blue so he can calm him back down. And he's gonna go, oh, guys, we need to really talk about this. Felix, let's go back to your tent for a while. And he's like indicating with his eyes like, this is a 911. Like, this is no joke.
You'll take him back to the tent, and Felix has calmed down a little bit, and he sort of like just sits down on his couch, and he just like rubs his eyes and his head. Shh, Tori's here.
Yeah.
She shouldn't see me like this. I don't want her to see me like this.
All right. We're gonna get you cleaned up, all right? Get you some cold water. It's gonna suck.
And a mint.
Cold water's gonna suck, but it'll at least get you awake again. Right?
Fine, he says incoherently.
So who's gonna go get the water? Because Star's gonna go. Whoever gets the water, Star's gonna follow them.
I suggested it, so I can.
Okay, you can follow them. Sam, just really quickly, what are you doing with Felix? Like, to clean him up, I guess.
Yeah, so definitely making sure he doesn't have, change out a shirt.
Sure, you can.
Yeah, find like a washcloth to give him a little bit of the sweats wiped off.
Yeah, I'm assuming Sam's probably like experienced something like this with other people, so he knows how to deal with people, who are drunk off of their butt.
Oh yeah.
So you'll take care of Felix, and he's just gonna, since he's been calmed down, especially by Star, he's just gonna let you do it. And while Star and Black Powder are getting water, what's going on?
Star's gonna be like, Reggie, he wants to kill himself.
Kind of figured that much. You don't drink that much because you're happy.
And there was, I don't know how to describe it, but there was more emotion there. It was so much anger, and Star's eyes goes red and his voice deepens. They were angry. They were pissed about something majorly. I don't think we should let him interact with Tori until we kind of help him sort out a bit. You know what I mean?
Kind of thought that was what we're doing. What do you mean they were pissed?
It felt not like Felix, like there was someone else there. Yeah, but from far away, I couldn't pinpoint it.
Like Agatha? Like that twin thing they did?
Maybe. It would make sense, they're twins. Does that mean Agatha's... She was dead when you left her, right?
Her body was dragged away.
Out of characters, Star could only just feel the rage, and that was it. Can't tell nothing else.
You feel that maybe if you try again when Felix is more sober, you might get a better read of things.
Star's gonna...
Good luck with that. Getting him sober.
Star's gonna be like, if I tried again when... And Star will shake himself and say, sorry. If I try again, maybe I could pinpoint it better, but we need him sober. Like, sober?
Well, with how shit-faced he is, that could take a while. There are a few things that can help with sobering up, one of which is dumping him in cold water. Gives him a nasty headache, but it sobers him. But he'll be pissed.
But it may help. Because Reginald, he's messed up right now. He's gonna need it majorly. And if what you're saying is true, Agatha may theory or no, but it could be Agatha.
If it is, then we deal with it. It's what we do.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how long he's been like this. I suspect probably since we left.
Yeah.
But if sobering him up and what you do doesn't work, I have a few ideas. Not the nicest, but I think there's some things he might need to hear.
Star will squeeze your arm and say, if you think it's for the best, then I trust you.
Last resort.
Last resort.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've had to, sailing. Losing lives is pretty common. Some people lost their brothers, their friends, their lovers, whatever, on the ship. Had to quickly get their head on straight again. So I know a thing or two about, for lack of a better term, kicking them into action.
Okay.
But it's not nearly as gentle as what you do, so I'd much rather try your stuff.
So laugh a little and say, okay, but we have to help him first. And then we can get him to Tori and Frankie, but I think right now it might be best if we just snap him out of it.